The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
This is Maddox Messer, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have Maddox of Messer. Messer has released their second single and video entitled Save Myself, and their debut self-titled album is out now as well via Maddpants Records. Messer's first single, Make This Life, reached number 25 on the active rock radio charts, the only truly independent act to do so thus far in 2018. Their self-titled album debuted at number 3 on the SoundScan New Artists chart and was named New and Networthy by iTunes. On tour right now with Royal Bliss is Messer, so get out and check them out and check out their albums and their music. Maddox, how's it going, my friend?
Man, it is going great. We are hanging out here in Dubuque, Iowa on this hard and loud tour. Getting ready for another show.
So is it cool out there right now, or is it still hot?
No, it's chilly and rainy and perfect football weather.
There you go, sir. There you go. I'm an Irish Notre Dame and UK fan. That's who I am, but, you know.
There you go. Well, I'm a Cowboys fan. We're from Dallas, so.
Yeah, I was checking on my Steelers. They were ahead of the Bengals earlier, but I don't know who won that game because I was at work. I couldn't check it all out. So anyway, let's jump right into this, good sir. What's impressed or excited you the most about making this self-titled album? What's caught your eye about this debut album, if anything, man, for you guys?
Well, for me personally, just having the privilege to be able to make this record the way that we wanted to make it on our own, and then to be able to have the people who were involved in it, like our producer, Chad Gendison, who co-wrote the album, and then Ben Gross, who mixed the record, to, everybody who's done the artwork, to our PR team. So just feeling that, it's been a real special feeling being able to get all this stuff out and bring it out and then have it be really well received. We couldn't be happier,
What led you guys to pick the first single, Make This Life, and second single and video entitled Save Myself? What was it about these songs to be singles and a video for you guys? What stood out for them?
Well, Make This Life, we picked it, we have 6 radio singles planned on this record. And, it's like you want to pick, not necessarily your best radio single first, but the best radio single to do first, which you got to have somewhere to go from a starting point, if you want to go up from there. So we kind of had this planned in a way that we felt like Make This Life would be a great introduction to the high energy rock sound that we've created on this album, and get people acquainted with our positive energy and empowering messages in our lyrics. And then of course we wanted to follow that up with something that's a little bit more personal, and that's Save Myself, which Save Myself deals with domestic violence or domestic abuse on not so much dealing with the negative aspect of it, but more focusing on the positive side of coming out of that situation where, somebody who maybe is on that precipice of change and you found the courage to get yourself out of that toxic situation and save yourself and go.
Any songs off the album stand out more to you than any on it as of right now, possibly? I mean, I know there's some great songs on here, especially Simple Man, what you guys did, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, thank you. That's of course that's our original Simple Man. It's not the cover,
right? Exactly.
And we do that. That's one of it's one of our favorite songs to not only perform live, but it's a crowd favorite. But you asked me my standout, and my standout on that album is actually the bonus track of that song that we rearranged and rewrote in an acoustic kind of a version. And what I liked about it is back history, Simple Man was really the first song that we recorded with our producer, Chad, and that acoustic version of Simple Man was the last song that we recorded for this album. And I felt like it was a perfect bookend where the original version of Save Myself, so for those who've heard it, if you haven't, go check it out, is kind of more of a proud, anthemic, I am a simple man, it's upbeat, up-tempo, and the acoustic version is kind of a more humbled, I am a simple man, acoustic version. And that kind of, I think, says a lot for the transformation that this band has gone through in the making of this record, because it has changed all of our lives in a positive way, but completely changed our lives.
Yeah, I want to make something perfectly clear here. I wasn't meaning like the cover of Simple Man from Leonard Skinner. I meant their version that they made. So
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, we get a lot. Quite like Simple Man. And there's already a song Simple Man. We were doing it. This is a new classic, a new version, a new Simple Man for the future.
That's what I was meaning. They actually did their own version. That's what I'm saying. Simple Man was a good song, and it is a good song. I love acoustic stuff.
Thank you.
I love when bands strip it down and do stuff like that.
Yeah, we like to have fun with them, even with the radio singles for Make This Life and for Save Myself. We're doing some acoustic post-show VIP experiences where we've actually rearranged those songs, and we do them in studio and radio station events and things like that, but they're completely different arrangements of those radio singles, and it's really cool to hear how it translates.
I thought this is really cool. How was working with writer and producer? You mentioned his name, Chad Gendison, because it seems like you guys hit it right off with this guy. And, he just...
yeah, we're like brothers from another mother. He and I, become best friends through all of this. And, he's really like he's like a sixth Beatle, if you will. He's, he's taught us so much about the record-making process, about songwriting, and then about the performance of the songs and the conveyance of the messages and the energy on a whole other level that, before we were just naive to.
So did he actually help you guys finally find your sound that you were happy with?
Oh, yeah, he definitely, not only did he help us find the sound, he and I designed the sound together, you know what I mean? So, yeah, he was involved, it was from day one. In fact, I remember that day sitting in his living room in Silver Lake saying, hey, let's put this band together, let's put this album together, let's do it this way. And, it was kind of meant to be a big, middle finger to the record industry, which was, when we started this, was definitely, had already failed and collapsed. Of course, now we're starting to have some infrastructure and it's coming back. So, and of course now with some of the laws being changed, we're going to maybe start making money again.
How hard did he push you guys, though? Did he push you guys to your limits?
Oh, absolutely. It was a complete breaking down of, kind of going through a boot camp. We literally took a masterclass course in, music. We were at a point in our lives, you think you're as good as you're ever going to be, but then you realize, what, you can always be better. And, having somebody who has the ear and the ability to show you where, you can improve and then can actually help you improve it and get and grow. It was the thing is that, you don't ever grow, in a comfortable state. Change is uncomfortable and it's painful. And that's why I was saying that changed us as people, because the transformation was so dramatic.
It's awesome that you have a guy in your corner like that, because as going on forward, you've got somebody that knows exactly what you guys want. And when you're going to, in the recording studio, if you work with him again, he knows what you need.
Oh, absolutely. We're definitely going to do, we plan on doing our whole entire music careers working with Chad. As part of our team, is because, we've designed and built this thing together, and I can't really imagine him not being a part of it.
Very true, man. How long did it take to record the album, Maddox?
Man, it took us a long time. It took us, better part of 4.5, 5 years, start to finish. There was a lot of stuff that transpired during that time period. One of which was us developing and creating some of the technology that we utilized to bring the high-fidelity live show, because it was so important to us not only to have a record that sounded great, but a live experience that was unlike anything you've ever heard before. And, we're utilizing some of the most state-of-the-art technology, some of the stuff we had to create ourselves because it wasn't yet invented, to be able to to bring, which is the equivalent of like coming in and watching a 4K or 6K TV for the first time. If you've never heard a high fidelity concert, you're in for a treat.
How much of a confidence boost is it to see your guys' music, like first single, Make This Life, reach number 25 on the active rock radio charts? The only, like I said earlier, only true independent band to do this far in 2018. Plus your self-titled album debuted at number 3 on the SoundScan New Artist chart and was named, new and networthy by iTunes. How much of a confidence boost is it for you guys going forward?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a huge confidence booster, and in the sense that it gives us, more reassurance of what we felt all along, and that's that this album has really, really great potential, and that these songs have the not only the potential, but the demand for these songs to be heard is there, and it's being received, and so the gratification for that, or the payoff, is the recognition on the charts, and we're up there with some of these names that we've looked up to and we idolize. They're our heroes, some of the bands that we're on the charts with. And, being that we are independent, we have no record label. I mean, literally, I'm Maddpants Records. That's me, Maddox. That's what the Mad is. So it's just us doing all of this. And, it's said, it feels really good to know that we've really hit the nail on the head with this record. So
do you like being an independent band, or do you want to hit that big major label?
Well, yes, we want to we want the label, the big major label, because we feel these songs are worthy of that type of market saturation. And then, we want them to be, everybody to hear them the world over. And so to have the widest possible reach, the record labels are really necessary for that. As for do we need a record label to come in and tell us what to do? Necessarily, no. What we need is a record label to come in and give us an opportunity and get us in front of people, and we'll do all the work, So at this level, you know what I mean? Talk to me when Save Myself has reached number 20 something on the charts. You know what I mean? Maybe then it's time for a label. But right now, we're doing pretty good on our own.
Very true. And that right there speaks volumes for independent bands who are doing good stuff on their own. I mean, it shows you how much the work and effort that they put into this.
It's persistence. That's key. You know what I mean? A lot of people give up. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You know what I mean? We're driving, I got to drive 20 hours between this show and the next show. You know what I mean? I mean, there's so much more to it, and trust me, nobody out here is doing this for the money. We're just doing it because of the lives that we're seeing being changed every night at these shows, and that's really what motivates us and drives us are the fans. And maybe the money will follow, maybe it won't. They say the fastest way to make $1 million in the record business is to start with $2 million.
What do you hope the fans take away from Messer's music, or message you hope they hear while they're listening to your guys' music?
I hope that they hear that there's hope for humanity and for us as a human race, that, just love your brother, love your neighbor, spread some positive energy out there, and know that you're not alone. We're all in this together. That the main thing that, we want people taking away from the show, just going, wow, I can get through my day tomorrow. I can get through, I can get through this. You know what I mean? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Maddox, when you step into that recording studio, do you do anything differently during that writing and recording process to maybe help keep your mind fresh and open to new ideas and things?
Yeah, it's it's very difficult sometimes. I mean, it's really easy in the studio to get tunnel vision, and when you're really close to a project like that and really hyper focused for a long period of time, you have to take breaks and step away and go, look back, and then that's where having other people coming in and being there to say, maybe you're looking at this too closely, and, take a fresher look at it. So, we're so focused in the studio. We're so focused on the stage. So it just requires a lot of focus for sure.
What can fans expect at a show from the Mighty Messer who have not got to see you guys live as of yet?
Man, I hope you get, you should expect to get goosebumps. You should expect to maybe even have your eyes even tear up a little bit. But more importantly, you should expect to have a good time and hear some really positive messages and meet some great people, because our Messer fans are the best.
We're living in the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and plus social media to reach out to more fans who may not got to hear you guys as of yet. Do you like this that we're living in now, or no?
You know, it is a lot easier for people to get their hands on your music now than ever, but the downside of that is that it's easy for anybody to get music out there. So there is a tremendous amount of noise or traffic, and it's hard to cut through. I was just reading a Bob Lefsetz article today just about like how do you break a new band, you know? I mean, I like to feel like we're, you know, blazing our own trail into breaking Messer into the mainstream radio and music entertainment world. But there is not one definitive way. It's like, you know, used to it was you do radio and then, you know, you tour and you break it. But now you can break a band on YouTube. You can break a band on Spotify. I mean, there's so many different ways. But so we are, you know, so it's a lot of competition for people's attention span, which is getting increasingly shorter for sure.
Support-wise, is there a country or a location that stands out more, even surprises you that Messer gets support from?
You know, we get a tremendous amount of support from Australia. We have we've never even been to Australia, but we have a huge fan base in Australia just over social media. And that's one of the beautiful things about the digital world of social media is that you can have fans all over the world and never having been there just because they followed you on social media or seen a video.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do?
You know, for me, as a musician, I think I can speak for the rest of the guys as a band in general. You know, when you have a gift or a talent like playing an instrument or singing, that gift doesn't really belong to you. It belongs to the universe. And there's a compelling nature, a compelling force to give this gift freely. And, you know, so it's, again, it goes back to the fans. It goes back to the, you know, we had a lady last night at the show. She's battling cancer, and she comes up and in tears and just saying, you know, our song "Make This Life Worth Fighting For" was giving her hope to just, you know, to get through the chemotherapy. I mean, she already lost all of her hair. Her head was shaved, you know, and we're healers. That's what musicians are. Music is a great, you know, healing force, and that's how we see it.
The best drug out there, my friend, is music. You can't go wrong with it.
No, you can't. You know, sound waves are a real physical, you know, thing, and if you know how to manipulate or use or focus those sound waves, you can create some powerful moments.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Messer's debut album. It's self-titled, of course, Messer. Plus, check out their 2 singles that are out right now. So, Maddox, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, this album, tour dates? How can they do that, my friend?
Everything is available at messerband.com. All of our social media links, our music, our store, our merch. We have a tremendous amount of merch items at Messer Mart that you can purchase to support independent bands like ourselves out there, buying people's merch. Go see a show. That's what I say.
And folks, trust me, check out Simple Man. And it's not Skinner's version. It's their actual song by Messer, okay? Check it out.
That's right.
But before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Let's do it. This is Maddox from Messer, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. And BODS Mayhem Radio Network, please go out to our Facebook page, BODS Mayhem Hour, and plus our YouTube channel, BODS Mayhem Hour, to keep up with all the interviews and guests coming up on the show. And plus, we have a podcast site on Mixcloud. All of our links are on the BODS Mayhem Hour's Facebook page. Check out Messer. They're out on tour right now with Royal Bliss. And go out and have a good time, folks. Thank you so much, Maddox. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Have a good day.